What makes a hero? What makes someone great? Today, we salute 3 people who strove tirelessly toward a greater good for their community. They stood together to fight oppression and inequality. Irma B. Thompson, educator and activist. William Davis Butts, civil rights lawyer. Oscar Pretlow, union organizer. These 3 embodied the spirit of American exceptionalism as it was defined by President Barack Obama.
Now, this is where I learned that change only happens when ordinary people get involved and they get engaged and they come together to demand it. So that's what we mean when we say America's exceptional. Not that our nation's been flawless from the start, but that we have shown the capacity to change and make life better for those who follow.
Throughout her long career, Irma B. Thompson was very active in organizations formed for and by African American educators, shut out as they were from white professional organization. In the early 1940s, the Virginia Teachers Association began efforts to equalize African American teachers' salaries to those of their white counterparts. Under the guidance of Huntington High Principal Luttrell F. Palmer, they used the courts as their weapon of choice, with individual teachers suing the city school board for discrimination. The first test of this method in Norfolk had been successful. Though the case in Newport News was found in favor of African American teachers, the school board fired the appellant Dorothy Watkins and other teachers of the VTA, including Palmer. When educators participated in discrimination suits against Jim Crow school boards, they knew their whole career, their reputations, and their way of life would be at risk. If the school board could so unceremoniously fire L.F. Palmer, easily the most respected African American educator in Virginia at that time, then anyone could be next. Unsatisfied with the school board's response, Thompson stated,
"This is an unwarranted menace to the advancement of education and will cause an injury to the education of our children and to other children in the community and to the community as a whole, which will have a bad effect for generations."
Following the salary suit and the firing of her colleagues, Thompson devoted more of her time, effort, and money to the VTA. When elected president of the Virginia Teachers Association, Thompson focused the group's effort on school integration. Coming into the office the year of the Brown versus Board decision, Thompson and the VTA already understood that one Supreme Court ruling would not guarantee or enforce their rights. Thompson was able to secure Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. for his first appearance in front of the VTA. Dr. King praised the teachers' willingness to sacrifice on the behalf of their students and for all African American children. Today, there are many African American teachers in Hampton Roads, and African Americans serve on all levels of leadership positions within the school system.
We'll believe in freedom cannot rest.
Lawyer William Davis Butts was working for better schools and academic opportunities for African Americans. William Davis Butts was an acclaimed and respected civil and criminal attorney. He was certified to argue before the U.S. Supreme Court and had broken color barriers when he successfully got African American men admitted to a jury for a case he was arguing, a first for Virginia. But he knew firsthand that these accomplishments would not shield him from the risk and discrimination. Butts would often travel to rural counties, such as Middlesex County, in Washington County, North Carolina, that had few to no African American lawyers to help people in need of legal representation. In both of these cases, Butts represented African Americans seeking better schools. After a court session in Washington County, Butts was standing on the sidewalk outside the courthouse talking to his clients. A local plainclothes policeman approached and accused Butts of blocking the sidewalk. The encounter resulted in the policeman beating Dr. Butts with his billy club and drawing his gun. Some spectators disarmed the policeman, and Butts escaped by car, injured but alive. Butts was close friends with fellow lawyer W. Hell Thompson. Thompson chose Butts to represent him in his pursuit to integrate the Newport News Public Library. He and Thompson went to the West Avenue Library to sign up for library cards, but were turned away, prompting Thompson to file a lawsuit against the library and the city. After years of legal struggle, the library was eventually desegregated for adults. Butts and Thompson had to file a lawsuit again to permit African American children to use the public library. Today, Newport News Public Library is open to and enjoyed by all students, although school segregation is an ongoing issue. Of equal importance to educational justice, Oscar Pretlow was fighting for workplace equity. Oscar Pretlow began working at the Newport News shipyard in 1930 and soon became an active member of the only union available to the shipyard employees, the Peninsula Shipbuilders Association. He served on the union's executive board for over 20 years. Despite this, the PSA shut out Pretlow and other African American members of the union's governing board from the contract negotiation meetings starting in the mid-70s. At first, Pretlow and his colleagues complained to the president of the union, but when given no response, they filed a complaint with the U.S. Department of Labor. Because of their actions, the PSA dismissed them from the union. In the meantime, the men were looking for another union that could better represent them. They decided to begin communication with the Pittsburgh-based union, the United Steelworkers of America.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires.
The PSA was a union controlled by the company. The union gave away sick leave, conditions under which holidays are paid out, and our lunch hour. We tried to straighten out the PSA, but we found out that was impossible. The only solution for those 5 people meeting in that hotel room was a strong national union, and we settled on the steelworkers. The PSA might as well close shop. You could be the judge whether or not the PSA has ever regretted kicking us out of the union.
Thanks to the campaigning efforts of Pretlow and his crew, more employees voted for the USWA than the PSA, but the fight was years from over. The shipyard refused to recognize or negotiate a contract with the USWA. Many felt that a strike was the only option. Pretlow knew and had seen firsthand the cost of strikes, both to your livelihood and your personal safety, especially for African Americans. Pretlow had participated in the July 1967 strike. This strike only ended when the governor called in state troopers to break up the picket lines. This strike would be longer and tougher. It would be years of unemployment with no guarantee of success. It would result in many injuries and arrests. It would garner national attention.
More shots, spend it on the have-nots. Money, we make it. Before we see it, you take it. Oh, make me wanna holler the way they do my life. Yeah. Make me wanna holler the way they do my life. This ain't living, this ain't living. No, baby.
But it would also be one of the first times in Newport News that African American and white workers would stand side by side working towards a mutual goal. The strike eventually ended in April 1979 when the shipyard recognized the USW and the local chapter, Local 8888, as the official union. Today, African Americans hold leadership offices in Local 8888, and they continue to weave together civil rights and worker rights, using their collective force, as their motto says, to rock the boat. Our heroes believed in the power of collective action and knew that African Americans must work together to achieve their goals. Our heroes put their own professions and their lives at risk in their effort to advance opportunities for African Americans. Our heroes knew that if you help your community today, the benefits will be felt for generations to come. Speak up, speak out, get in the way, get in good trouble, necessary trouble, and help redeem the soul of America. Irma B. Thompson, William Davis Butts, Oscar Pretlow. They stood for justice.
Be there for me, I'll be there for you. Oh, everything is gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright. Alright. 'Cause you and me got better days coming. Yeah, everything is gonna be alright. Walk with me, I'll walk with you. I know the rain of today will bring tomorrow's bloom, where we can't see where we're going, what the world is coming to. You walk with me, I'll walk with you.